AZ Degreez. I'm your host, Olivia Mailetohi, and my special guest co-host,
Fanga Anamola.
And today we have a very special segment for you. So we are touching base on Tongan women entrepreneurs. According to studies, entrepreneurs have grown to about 528 million all around the world. And half of those are women entrepreneurs. Our goal is to motivate others to pursue their dreams or follow their passion. It's up to us, our generation of Tongans, to track, motivate, pursue, and inspire our younger generation.
We Tongans are a small part of these entrepreneurs. And in order for us to make a dent in this world, we all need to work together.
And I just want to consider it is a great honor to welcome these beautiful Tongan women entrepreneurs today joining us. Woo! Thank you guys. How y'all feeling today?
We're feeling good, excited, grateful for this opportunity.
Well, we thank you guys so much for joining us. So I'd really like to start by introducing each of you guys. So if you could please introduce yourselves.
My name is Lorraine Fiafia, and I am logged on representing Money Mouth Inc., promoting company out of the South Bay area.
My name is Mali Noah Maya. Everybody calls me Noah for short. Boss Up Entertainment. I'm here in Seattle, Washington, but with my shows, I kind of like do tours here and there. So like I'm in everybody's city, I guess, here and there, not all the time.
My name is Paula Waipulu. I'm based out here in the IE in Riverside, California. My brand is LALO AKAU, our safe haven. It's originally a clothing brand, but shifted over to promoting shows with my partner. And that's what I've been doing for the past year. And I'm just happy to be on here with Money Mouth and Boss Up and you beautiful ladies.
Is Corinne Panisi. I am half Tongan and half Spanish, but I speak, read, and write Tongan fluently. So I'm here representing Project Face to Face, which is a nonprofit organization. I also have my own record label, and it's called Resource Music, and a publishing company. And I also do events and a lot of things in the community.
Nice, Malo.
And I'm Nimoy Fanga. I'm from Arizona, and we have a business in custom clothing. We also make things like blankets, quilts, work with a lot of amazing people doing so. And yes.
I'm Via Mila. I am the host of AZ Degreez. We just hit our 1 year. We love to push our Tongan community, our Polynesian community, and just support each other, build each other up. So we built this platform so you can be here and just share you all the way around. So thank you guys. Yeah, so what do you guys love about your hustle? Let's talk about that. Like, you guys are all women, bosses. Talk about it.
Don't be nervous.
Tongan.
All that stuff always started off because, you know, she can give me an idea of what to say.
How about this? Lorraine, what's your why?
Why do I do it?
Why are you into this?
I started doing it just for fun, to be honest, and then I kind of started figuring out that I'm pretty good at it. And then I started funding more money into it because I seen it was a vision and something that I love to do. And I can see it being profitable for my daughter. Something that I hope she would like to take over as well. And to party.
Party size to being promoters is the party part.
Right, that's the fun side.
Yeah. So my why is, just, it wasn't even planned out. It wasn't even a plan to be, promoting and stuff. It actually started from my husband and his best friend, which is Ritzology. And then I just so happened to throw my brand on the flyers. And then I just, us women, we just like to take charge. so I just started taking charge of the reggae nights that we have every Sunday. And then from there on, wanted to try it out to do shows. And so we did it. And I just feel like, you know, it's different. And so my wife, after doing our first couple of shows, I seen how the community came out and they needed a breath of fresh air every so often, and seeing them come out, and then just them, you know, reaching out to me and coming up to me after the shows, telling me, you know, that they were so happy with the show, and gave them a excuse to go out. And I just felt that it was something that needed to be done in our community. So it made me excited and happy. And I'm doing it for the community and for my family too, you know, financial wise, of course. So I feel like that's my why.
Nice.
Love it.
I started being a promoter growing up. I started being a promoter because of one of my older cousins, Coconut Entertainment. She's kind of retired right now, but I got into promoting because of her. You know, I was always with her at every show, helping her run shows. And then my cousin there that lives in Arizona, Two Mites, started doing our first show together in 2014. And then since then, at the time I was married and our entertainment brand was a different name at the time. And then my son was born in 2018. I was a single mom. And that's when I changed our entertainment name to Boss Up Entertainment. And my son's name is Boss. Yeah, but I do this because, especially being here in Seattle and being like, I was born and raised in Riverside, California. So I came here and then I met Emerald Dynasty. They're the one that's throwing the Polyfest on August 6th. So if you're in the area, you know, come down to, it's in Auburn at the Outlet Collection Mall. But I came here, met Jesse, and which is DJ Lou Screws. We did our first show out here, and then from there on, that's when we started doing shows together. And he'll do shows, I'll do shows, and then we had a couple tours back in the days. I think it was Lovers Rock Tour, and then we did DJ Noise. And since then, like most of the time, the main reason why I do this is because, you know, I enjoy our poly community coming together. Yeah. But it feels great. It's like giving back to your own people.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice. And so just everybody who's watching, those three ladies, they are in the promoting world, and they have been pushing concerts like I've never seen. Like promoting back in the day, it was mainly men, right? It was mainly men. And so these women are coming up and they're throwing these big old concerts that is getting a lot of attention online. So like, kudos to you guys.
Your flyers are being shared all over. It's
right.
Mostly what I see on my timeline.
And we even have people driving just from Arizona to wherever you guys are at just to catch a concert.
Right.
So that's right. Correct?
Oh gosh, so since we're promoting Project Face to Face, I'll start with that and then kind of like gear into all the other things I do. So Project Face to Face is a nonprofit organization. I started it in 2010, which is after the year my mom had passed away. And I didn't, I just started it because like at first, I wanted to give back because my mom was into the community and she always gave back. And every time I would come visit her, because I used to live in Moreno Valley when I was going to college. So every time I would take a train up or a flight to come and visit her while I was in college, she would always have all these people in her house. And I'm like, who the hell is these people? And she was like, don't worry about it. If you don't like who I have in my house, then you could go back where you came from and stuff like that. But who they were like kids in the community who didn't have houses. And I have 9 brothers and sisters. So we grew up in a 3-bedroom house. And so the boys slept in one room, the girls slept in one room, and then my parents slept in one room. So for anybody extra to be there, I was just like, oh my gosh, who are all these people? But anyways, when she passed away, I wanted to like honor her name and be like, you know, give back. And I knew there was a lot of people in the community who needed toys, and especially during the holidays. So it started off with me just contacting people in the community and be like, hey, would you mind donating some toys or just buying some toys from the dollar store or whatever so I could have a toy giveaway, at our local church that I was going to at the time. My first toy giveaway was in 2010 in Menlo Park, California, and I received over 3,000 toys.
Wow.
And so my intention was not really to have a toy giveaway, but just to bring people together in the community and help those families out who needed, a little extra help during the holidays. And it just evolved into, so the next year in 2011, everybody got word of it and was like, Corinne, I want to help. What can I do? I want to donate. And then it just got bigger and bigger. And now we have like all kind of sponsors. And 3 years ago, I had hooked up with Lorraine with Money Mouth. And since then, she's been part of our toy giveaways, and we have one in Texas, is it, Lorraine? That we're doing this year. And I'm actually
this year.
Yeah, I'm actually doing 8 toy giveaways this year. So each year someone wants to join and be a part of my toy giveaways. So I'm having one in Alabama, I'm having one in Texas, the rest are in California, but it just grows every year. And so we have a website. I could link you guys with that and you guys could look at it. And all of our toy giveaways are listed on our IG page or Facebook and everything. Nice. So that's the project face-to-face side. With the events I do, I started out as just an event coordinator, just putting together events, being the background person. Like I have 2 daughters. When they were little, I would just put their pin, the baby pin in the middle of the venue. I decorated. Of course, it wasn't open yet. And then I would just play the background scenes and, make the phone calls and make sure people were picked up or, got their hotels or whatever the accommodations were. And then people started asking, who put this together? Oh, we want to meet her. So I started, it was just maybe about 5-6 years ago, I actually started going to the events because I was more concerned. I was like, just pay me and let me set it up and make the phone calls. I wasn't really concerned about, plus I'm feeling late, so it takes me like 3 hours to get ready and put on my makeup and comb my hair, put on my heels, right? So, but anyways, it evolved. And then with the publishing company, I started out just writing bios on the back end for artists and writing poetry and entering poetry contests. And then people started calling me like, hey, I need a bio, I need a one-sheeter. And I would just look up the information online to see how they were written or look at somebody else's, how it was compiled. And from there, it just evolved. People wanted to pay me for what I did. And I'm just like, I still sit there and be like, oh my gosh, is this really happening? And so I've written artist bios and one-sheeters for like some names. Nice. I've been event coordinators for some pretty big names like Wyclef, which called Method Man, Redman. It just, people actually want to pay me to come and put together their event. So that's my story, and that's how I started everything I do.
That's amazing.
You wear many hats.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know personally, but Lorraine always talks about you a lot, and I admire what you do.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
That's a lot.
Leave all the bad stuff out, sis. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe talk about the good stuff.
Sure.
Thank you guys so much for sharing. You guys are impeccable women. Thank you so much. So we're gonna move on. We also wanted to know where your passion came from and what you guys have going on. So what's led you into what you guys have going on now?
Okay, cool. Yeah, so like I said, with Money Mouth, it was just it was for fun, right?
Right.
So Money Mouth is branded under we are umbrellaed under Malialole. Malialole is our mothership, and that's our floor show that we've had running in Utah.
Wow.
We're going on, it's so long, I think it's like 17 or 18 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going on. And one of my friends will say, she sings, and so she wasn't people weren't picking her up as they should have, and as I see her and hear her as. So I thought, let's start Money Mouth, let's start doing concerts, and we'll put our own people on. Because if other people ain't gonna put us on, we gonna put ourselves on. You know what I mean?
Right.
So with that, we're feeding into other artists, and we also have OT7 under our brand too. And I mean, that's just it. Just started in 2019. It's not like we've been doing this as far as Money Mouth. Money Mouth just started in 2019, right before the pandemic. So when it happened, to be honest, I feel like it was a blessing because it let us map out what are the do's, what are the don'ts, what are we gonna maybe try to do, will we invest in, what are we willing to take a loss on. And I really feel like not every show is a win. That's the honest truth. Not every show is a win, and sometimes almost majority of the time you're gonna take an L. But if you break even, that's a win. Wow. If you can pay yourself and you break even, that's a win. That's why women, mind you, I feel like promoting was more of a man's thing before, because men are the ones who were in charge of the money before, right? But now you have all of us women who, we got our own money, baby.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Our own money on what I believe in, okay?
Okay,
so
boo-boo.
Now it's like, right. So now it's like we need to invest in ourselves. And now it's where the family is like, okay, mom's got something. I'm like, I think this is something that'll work. Right. Even if it doesn't work and it's something you're passionate about. Right. And that's our, and that's what I feel like music to me. Entertainment, music, all that is something that we have naturally embedded in our background. I mean, if Money Mouth don't work out, I'm gonna start selling clothes. I'm gonna look at LALO AKAU and TALAVOU Creations. Say, help me out, y'all. Tell me how to do it.
I love the grind.
Right.
That's grind.
Yeah. Can you please repeat the question again, please?
Or what's your passion? Like in your business, you are a woman in this business. What's your passion? And what's led you into where you at now?
Oh man, definitely my passion is I've always been a social butterfly, like even before LALO AKAU, before the promoting and stuff. Yeah. And I meeting new people. I love interacting with people, getting to know them, and
nice.
Of life and stuff. And then it was just the icing on the cake. And then of course I started the clothing business, and I would interact with people online, through DM. They made orders, and we'd like start whole conversations, and then from there with the promoting, I wasn't shy to post all the time, because no one's gonna post your stuff. You gotta post your own stuff. If there's my law, if they don't, then whatever. So I post all the time, and sometimes my family, my kids were like, "Mom, that's a little bit too much." I don't care. I post my flyers. No one's gonna post them. So it became a passion. Like I gotta get the flyers out. I want to see different people at the shows, because Riverside, the IE is kind of far from LA and OC. So my goal is we already have the the IE people coming to the shows, but just seeing people from OC and LA come out, it just hits a nerve. Like, oh yes, because a lot of people are like, oh, we don't want to drive that far,
right?
But then I keep posting and I keep pumping it up, like making little videos. Or and if you notice my LALO AKAU page, like I'm always on the stage, filming the show during the show. I feel like it kind of hypes people up. Okay, next show we're gonna go.
Yeah.
So it's like it makes me happy, and I'm so passionate about that. And then the outcome, like after the show, when I get the feedback from the people, for instance, there's a show I did a couple of months ago. An old couple drove down from Palmdale and Bakersfield.
Wow.
Some people
Wow.
flew in from Hawaii just for Pam Hall, just for that artist.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Yeah.
I was there, girl.
Yeah.
I was there.
there,
Mhm.
Yeah.
it
It was a
hurts,
big one.
to just, see people happy. And I think that's my high, is when I see people happy, when I see them satisfied. Of course, like Money Mouth said, there's a lot of losses that come with it. Like the people will be happy, but we'll go home ulu, like our head will hurt, like
Was it worth it?
but you can't show that face, at the shows. You can't, you still got to say bye to everyone. But at home, it's like, me and my husband will sit there and he's like, well, and I'm like, well, what? He's like, no, we didn't. Let's just move on. We got to take that loss. So I feel like it's something that I like to do because I like to, talk to people and see them happy.
Yes.
And it's only been a year, overwhelming year, because it was shows every month. So I guess we're trying to plot it out now, how to kind of slow it down or try to make it like every quarter now instead or something, but we'll see how it goes,
Nice. Is that full time?
No, I'm actually my full-time job is a caregiver. I've been a caregiver for almost 17 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then I had my husband got sick in 2019 and he was diagnosed with kidney failure. And so he wasn't able to work anymore. This is the same, like during the pandemic. And I was thinking, like, what are we going to do? We have all these kids. I have 6 children.
Oh, wow.
What are we going to do to make ends meet right now? We don't want to just piggyback off our family members. I got to think of something. So I was like, well, let me, the LALO AKAU, our safe haven, was actually a tree. My dad is a retired pastor, and we had a big tree in our backyard, and we had akohiva there, like we had all kinds of stuff there, akofaiva, and that was, everyone couldn't wait to come to our LALO AKAU. So it was everyone's safe haven. So me and the girls that we always talked about keeping it alive, So then I told them, I said, hey, do you think I should try to make some t-shirts? LALO AKAU. They're like, yeah, just try. I said, I gotta make some money.
Right.
I got kids, like, so they're like, yeah, make some t-shirts, we'll help you push it, we'll help you post it.
Oh, nice.
And then I mean, it was just a blessing for that, so
Wow.
yeah.
Sala, so I know Sala from we're all Fitu.
Yeah.
And we all grew up in the same church. Don't ever get discouraged from sharing your content. This is one of the reasons why TALAVOU Creation started AZ Degreez, right? We started AZ Degreez is because we have been able to grow our fan base organically to 20,000 people, right? So we have a lot of fans out there, but that's just not from paid advertisements. That's not from having to pay Facebook to advertise. This is just word of mouth, tagging. So never ever get discouraged of sharing your guys' brands with the world, because imagine when you start paying for those advertisements, your business is going to skyrocket. You know what I mean? And you're going to touch more people. So that's amazing. Solid.
Money Mouth, where'd your name come from?
Oh my gosh, are you for real?
Let's talk about it.
I used to be on Vaqueta for law with Teuila. If you guys know the first class lady.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So me and Teuila, we were on radio together, Vaqueta for Lao, the San Francisco edition. And her co-host I think it was every Sunday or Monday. Anyway, I was a part of when I started promoting, I was a part of a family, a promotion company. And the first show, it only took one show, and I said like how they move, and I told them exactly how I felt. And after that show, they said, hold on until after this show. And I said, I really don't want to be a part of it no more, because I'm messy. If I'm messy, it's because I'm drunk, and drink at my shows. So the way they're moving, I didn't like the way they're moving it. So I made an announcement on Vaqueta Folao, and I said, I'm leaving that promoting company. I'm not with them no more. And it was like, oh my gosh, like we've been promoting this company for like the past how many months on this show. And I'm like, I know, but I know when it's time for me to leave. And when I walked away, it was only my one person from that team that followed me out. His name is Willie Fihaki, and he's been my brother ever since. Sitting across from me in the interview, and Teuila says, "So a new company?" And I laughed and I looked at Willie and I go, "We really don't know, because I just barely barely thought it to myself and told Willie we out." And she said, "Well, the name of your company is?" And I said, "What's the name of my company?" And she said, "You should call your company Money Mouth." You know, I kind of looked around, kind of chuckled a little, and I said, I thought to myself, like, everyone's gonna look at Money Mouth. And I did. I got a lot of heat for it, because us Polynesians, we don't look, money is of all evil. We understand that. In the same sense, we need money to survive, right? So I asked her, why would you want me to name my Money Mouth? And she goes, "Because you talk and talk, you talk about this and you talk about that. But at the end of your conversation, you always talk about money." And I'm like, "Well, I'm just trying to make sure, are you paying the tab or am I paying the tab? Because I just need to know." So that's how money about. Yeah, it was a name given to by Dela, the first class lady.
Man, that's a catchy name. I can remember that one.
We don't forget it for sure.
That's right. Hey, Boss Up, we keep seeing flyers of DJ Noise out here in Arizona. Tell us more about it.
So with the DJ Noise, this is their third time coming here to America. So this is our third time, but this time, the last time he came, it was me and Rich Rocka, and then this time it's still me and Rich Rocka. The only difference is we have more stops now, and Roots, and also Ilarain. Ilarain was supposed to have one of our stops in Texas, but that same day she has the Hawaii stop. So we kind of, like, as promoters, we all work together, especially when it gets down to tours, because, like, you know, like, especially with them being from Australia, it's, you know, like, we work as a team, like, whatever promoters. And Rich Rocka, I've known Rich Rocka since, I think our first show we worked with them was the Vegas Sevens. Vegas Sevens, yes. And I met Rich Rocka through Two Mites, my cousin Two Mites.
Wow.
So yeah, so the whole tour is between me and Rich Rocka. We have the Sacramento stop and also the Arizona one. So the Arizona one, it's mini, it's Two Mites.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. We're super excited.
Yeah. We have so it's been Butta's first time coming down, and we actually have some great artists. We're supposed to announce it a week ago, and I don't want to announce it tonight because I want to make
damn.
Drop it already. I feel like this lineup is gonna be dope. It's gonna be like, you know, so it's Kenyon Brown, DJ Noise, and Bina. You know, like, I'm excited for them, and we also have, like, to these stops, probably, like, well, majority of the stops we're adding on. It's an artist from here, out here, so it's gonna be a dope tour.
Nice.
Yes. What do you guys have? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was like, yeah, but managing a tour is not easy, right? Money Mouth, it's not easy. Like, you know, we got to deal with the ups, you know, like, there's a lot of things to this, and it's gets kind of messy, but, you know, every day is a new day. What I do on a daily to keep up with this, I just pray on everything. Well, that's what I do on a daily. I pray on my every single move, you know, especially being a mom, that's the only way. And when I was out there for the Cutthroat show, I got to, you know, I got to talk with Fanga a little bit, and, you know, me and Fanga, our stories is kind of similar, and I'm a fan of Fanga.
No, I'm a fan of you guys.
So, yeah.
No, I just feel that, like, the struggles you go through, they're not to break you. They're basically to teach you a lesson, you know? And so once you learn that lesson, you can keep moving. But guess what? It's made you stronger from the previous situation, you know? And so it was really nice. Like, we hit it, like, we met, and then we were talking about promoting, and then talking about life. So it was kind of nice to meet and network with you women.
Yeah.
Always concert there in Arizona is on August 14th.
Woohoo!
So they kick off here at the Polyfest on August 6th over here with Emerald Dynasty with Victoria and Jesse, DJ Loose Cruise. And then after that, they go to Hawaii, and then we're in San Diego, Sacramento, San Jose, and Santa Ana, and then we're in Arizona.
Nice.
So all these shows are all back to back. Like,
Do you guys travel wherever your shows go?
yes, we actually do. I usually fly, but with this tour, I think I'm the driver. So Jesus take the wheel, but yeah, I prefer to drive over DJ Noise's manager driving.
Well, safe travels, guys. What do you guys have coming up for the future? Like upcoming that you're excited to share about?
Yeah, definitely. Well, as far as the rest of our In Your City tour that we have, Nitibo, Ado, and Open headlining.
Yes.
We're gonna be in Utah and Hawaii next month in August, and then September we're gonna be in Alaska, Arizona on September in Arizona, and then we gotta end our tour down here at home in the Bay Area.
Hey.
After that, Money Mouth, we're gonna venture and go into our clothing line because I put it on hold for too long, and everyone bars and Sala, even LALO AKAU knows, and even anybody who's around, they see everybody always ask, where can I get a Money Mouth shirt? And I say, it's not for sale, baby. You got to be part of the team, But now I'm gonna venture into that avenue of apparel, and then one of our most, like, December is completely committed to our giveaways that we have with Project Face to Face.
Nice.
And that we're all over the Bay Area. The reason why I was so adamant of also her on is because it's not only that we're all in and we're entrepreneurs, but it's because every single area they're in, we have what? We have Riverside, LALO AKAU's in Riverside, we have Seattle, and we have Arizona. Those are 3 stops that we need our toy drive in. And
Wow.
I give us a deadline of next year, and we're gonna start our toy and run it every single December.
Yeah, that's
I don't see why not.
Hey, we're in.
Because I just started the one.
Just let us know.
We just have our first year in Texas this year. Our first year in San Francisco is this year. Like, when I talk about Project Face to Face, I think that's one of my most prized possessions, is because we have no gain, but all we can give is the offer back people, to the kids, especially
the kids.
And one of the ones with us, Texas, his name is DJ Tani, and he asked me, he said, sis, do the toy drive. And I said, bro, we're collecting money all year long. You think we can't dedicate 1 month just to give it back, at least to the kids?
Right.
Yeah.
And you're so right. I'm on. I said, perfect. I'll date in time. Pick the toys up. I'll see you when I get beautiful that I'm seeing your faces right now. So stop in. Corinne, did you write that Project Face to Face?
What's that? You kind of went out.
So
I didn't hear the question.
So now we're gonna have 3.
Yeah.
Where
So
these girls
yeah.
are. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. So
and Arizona.
Yeah. So just to warn you, ladies, once you do it, you're locked in for life. We're doing it every year with you. It's not a one-time thing. It's not just, okay, we're doing it next year and that's it. No, you're locked in. We're doing it every year in your city. So just FYI.
Nice.
I think that's amazing, giving back to especially the kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys are all bosses.
So with LALO AKAU, we just had 2 shows back to back in July. We celebrated our 1 year of shows in the IE, and very next week we headed over to Reno. We kind of got stuck. We didn't want to because our artists for our anniversary just kind of came in last minute, and we didn't want to miss that opportunity. So we just grabbed him, and then because Reno was our original plan. And so then we just said, you know what, let's just do it. Let's just do both. And it was kind of overwhelming, but we did it. You know, we managed to do it. And so in August, we're gonna have a bye month. You know, we'll have our reggae nights on Sundays, but we'll take a break on the show in August because, you know, like I said, I have a sick husband and a sick dad, and then all my kids. And after my wife is gonna doolie me because every time he says, I said I can't come this weekend because we have a show. You know, I've been saying that for the past year. So luckily they've been working with me. But then after August, we have Etana locked in for September. She was meant to come with us, I think in June or months ago, but some things came up with her tour here in LA. So the manager reached out and we locked in September for Etana. And then you know, everyone's, you know, Money Mouth's doing a tour and Malino, I'm Boss Up's doing a tour. I've never experienced doing a tour, but we're gonna have a tour in starting in October, and I'm sitting here talking to you guys and listening to the girls talk, and it's just like I need to get to work. I need to start, you know, reaching out to other cities too. We're trying to have a tour with one of the Lovers Rock queens that was supposed to come to Reno with us, but she couldn't because of her visa. So she'll be coming to me in October, and I'm supposed to plan a tour. And I probably hit up the girls here just to kind of help me guide, you know, kind of guide me into to it and stuff. You know, in the beginning, like I kind of started from scratch. I didn't know what I was doing. I just did it. And then I kind of got I kind of got in contact with Money Mouth. I don't know how we first talked, and try to ask, you know, if I need help.
Because I got a big mouth.
Yes, and that's So
Money Mouth, everybody. She said
everybody.
Yeah. So I was in contact with Diamond Entertainment. She, you know, unfortunately she can't make it tonight, but I got in contact with her, and then slowly I got into Money Mouth's DM. And then, you know, clicked and stuff. And I was just so amazed at the positivity and the encouragement that they gave me, you know, because you know, and then my husband even says, stop saying that, you know, you don't know how to do what you're doing. Don't say that, you know. And I'm like, oh, okay. Then I talked to Money Mouth, and she's like, girl, you know what you're doing, you know. And then I talked to Boss Up a few times, you know, over at the venue, and it's just encouraging seeing them, you know, do what they do. And if they can do it, I feel like I can do it also. And also, and like, if I need help or guidance, like with this tour, I'm gonna ask them, you know, I'm gonna text them and ask them to kind of help me out. This industry, I see. There was a few experiences I had where people had pride, like they didn't want to you know, ask because they don't want them to think that they're shook. I'm gonna ask. I don't care. I'm gonna text Money. I'm gonna text Boss Up, and I'm gonna ask them, you know, because I just feel like that's working together and helping each other. And as women, you know, they encourage me.
Right.
And I feel like
you bring up a good subject, LALO AKAU, because something we were talking about the other day is back in the days, everybody was out for themselves, you know. Nobody wanted to connect, nobody wanted to give nobody their venue, you know. I did the dirty work, that's my venue, you know, this and that. You know what, today, you know, I'm just that type. Hey, I found a venue. Who needs the venue? You know, like, you need the venue. Just as long as you don't throw a show on the same day I'm throwing a show, you know what I mean? But it's not even cutthroat like that these days. Like, I feel like it is. There's still some cutthroat out there, but I feel like, you know, the way that we move together as women, if you ain't seeing what we're doing right now, then you must be blind. That's all I can say. Because whatever you need that I have, I'm gonna give it to you. The same goes with TALAVOU Creations. You know, TALAVOU Creations, Fanga is married to one of my really close cousins. And he tells me all the time, whatever you need, sis, you call me. And so I'm just like, what I feel like right now, the rotation of how we're going in the promoting and the entertainment business is we're changing the game for our Polynesians. It really is a game changer. A lot of people talked about it, but they never was about it. They talked about community, but did they have it really? You know what I mean? Did they do it, or did they just talk about it? You know what I mean? That's why I love working with Project Face to Face, because I'm like, can't nobody tell me I'm not doing something for my community.
Right.
You know what I mean? Can't nobody, that's what I'm saying. We're going to branch off into these different areas that we're in right now with everything that we have, shows, giveaways. If you're in Timbuktu and you need a giveaway and us to help you out, hit us up. Because all we need is somebody who can say, okay, I'm gonna sign my life away to you guys. I'm gonna do this every year in December. And those areas, you know, it's one thing to talk about it. And what I feel like, and I don't mean to put the fellas down, but honestly, for real, girls, fellas have been talking about it forever. They've been talking about it forever, but they haven't been about it.
Right.
They'll do it for 1 or 2 years and then it's done. Project Face to Face, how many years are you now under your belt?
This is our 12th consecutive year.
12 years.
Wow.
I don't know anybody who's been doing this for 12 years that's Polynesian. If you find them, let me know.
Yeah, no, Moneymouth is so right. Like, you know, in this industry, you can't be mad, you can't be embarrassed or anything. You gotta, you know,
can't be jealous.
Yeah,
you can't be jealous.
Amen.
Say that again.
You know, like you know, you brought it up. So when I started my clothing line, TALAVOU Creations, they reached out to me a few times too. Hey, if you want to bring some of your shirts, bring it. We'll sell that at our store. Didn't get a chance to do it, but just gestures from other people that's been in the game longer, it's like encouraging. And it's like, oh wow, okay, damn, my shirt's gonna be in their warehouse, in their store, you know. Yeah, that really, you know, that pumps us up to, you know, to give us an idea. Okay, you know, let's, you know, help everyone. You know, this is, you know. And then, another thing that we got coming up is we have a beach day for Reggae Down by the River. We're just gonna host a beach day. DJ A-Line's gonna set up her system at the beach, and we're gonna our team is just all gonna provide food.
Nice. I better get my 2-piece, girl.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, and it's gonna be kind of like a back to school beach day. So that way, you know, it's just the adults, but the beach day, everyone can bring their kids.
Yeah,
it's gonna be open to the public, and we'll feed them, and we'll have music provided, and games and volleyball and all that stuff. So we're excited about that. That'll be August 6th.
Oh, that's exciting.
August 6th.
August 6th. Oh, that's the Polyfest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
August 6th is a very popular day. It's a very popular day. August 6th is a very popular day.
Somebody else mentioned August 6th too.
I don't know what you're talking about, sis, but I wasn't there.
August 6th is a very popular date, sis.
Very popular day.
It's a sign too.
Okay, well, at least, you know, the kids can come in August 6th. Then it'll be
right.
So you guys have a lot of good things going. I guess one of the questions we had was, what are the struggles that you guys face with what you guys are doing?
Oh, I want to answer.
Even as a woman.
I want to answer.
Yeah, even as a woman.
Yeah, so I've been in the entertainment industry since 2000. So it's been 22 years for me. And it's you know, I'm glad we're here with all women, because it is a very male dominant industry. And, you know, most of the time, so on the entertainment side, I had to act like I was ordering food, you know, or cleaning up the conference rooms to be in those rooms. So these were my tactics back in the day. I used to be like, oh, you want me to order you lunch? And then I could make sure everything's organized for you guys. And they looked at me as just, oh, that's Corinne. She's just making sure we got food and stuff. But the reason why I did that was so I could be in the room, so I could hear what the lingo was, so I could hear their conversations. So, and I knew they didn't look at me as no threat or anything. And then like for the events, like for the concerts and shows, I was like, oh, you want me to be your door person? And again, I only said that so I could see, you know, because the door person has to be there ahead of time. Or I would ask them, hey, do you want me to decorate the place, or what do you guys need me to do? And the only reason why I would do that is because I already knew they were looking at me as just a pretty face. Oh yeah, you can sit at the front door and be the door person. And I knew these men and these club owners and these venue owners and promoters weren't looking at me as, oh, she just wants to be in the mix. it wasn't even a thought, because they just looked at me as some pretty face and she just wants to work our doors. She just wants to order food. And so that's how I actually worked my way into it, because I was very aware of how the men in the industry looked at me. And so that's how I was able to hear the conversations, hear the lingo, and paid attention how they moved and see what worked and what didn't work.
That was in the uli uli world. That was in the uli
right.
world.
Yeah. And so, it's still challenging, because you still got to deal with men and their egos. And, sometimes, they bluntly just kind of in your face was like, well, that's not a woman's place to do that. And then, I just look at him like, oh, okay. But I wanted to mention, and again, I also manage my daughter, whose name is Deja Lanai. And she's Hafekasi Ululi and of course Tongan. But Money Mouse just brought her out to do her show this past weekend in Seattle.
Yeah, we were in Washington.
Wow, I didn't even know, the whole time I didn't even know that was her.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
I promote her, and she's been doing shows all weekend. Matter of fact, after we did the show in Seattle, we flew right back, and the very next day she did a show in Vallejo. So coming up, she has the Central Valley Music Awards, but this is her second year that they nominated her for awards. So that's in September. I believe it's on September 4th. It's out here in Central Valley. I think it's in Visalia or that area. So yeah, but it is challenging being a woman. I mean, especially being a minority woman and a Tongan woman, because we're already aware of what the general population looks at us at, you know what I mean? Like, so it is challenging, but if I could give any advice to all of us, and you guys seem like pretty strong women and determined, is just stay consistent. Who cares? People are going to talk about you. People are going to say and have their opinions. I mean, your own family.
Yeah.
And if that's your passion and that's what you want to do, just do it. Stay consistent. Yes. And if you need any of my assistance, I do a lot. Like, I'll take over the whole show if I.
Oh, she do a lot. She does a lot for Money Mouth too, outside of the
you guys.
I'm sitting there looking at her. I'm like,
a couple letters to keep me out of jail a couple times.
The whole time.
So if you guys need anything, whether it's on the entertainment side, just to talk to, I'll definitely share my information with you. If it's events, any of the toy giveaways, anything have to do with the community. I do a whole lot. I do a lot of the background, a lot of the legal stuff. Like, my nicknames are Cruella DeVille and Suge Knight and Joe Jackson. So
wow.
That's you're truly amazing. You do a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, she is.
Y'all better stop paying up if you're gonna use my legal defender.
So funny.
So what other shows you guys go through?
Struggles. Are we gonna talk about struggles right now? Are we gonna talk about struggles right now?
Right.
Or yeah, we'll let LALO AKAU answer it.
Oh, well, I mean, nothing like crazy, but I mean, there is a lot of struggles, with this industry, first of all, the financial struggle, like I said, I got a house full of kids, I got a lot of kids and I look after a lot of people. So I kind of, and then remember, I kind of put my original job, on the back burner, because I'm like, okay, let me do these shows, let me make this money, then I get molded, and then I'm just like, then my husband, I told you, I told you, slow down a little bit. But it's not that I'm like, moving too fast. It's just that, you gotta take risks. You gotta take risks, and I feel like, hey, well, it's okay. Next time it'll work. Then next time will come, same thing, But we just gotta just take the hits and just keep rolling and don't give up. You know?
Yes.
And stuff. So my thing is like the financial part of it. And then second of all, like for instance, in Reno, there was a little, a little brawl that happened there, so the venue was like, oh yeah, you guys can't come back,
Oh.
so yeah, it was a nice venue. I loved it, but it was just like, geez. So like, even like those little things, that
Yes.
when people come to the show, I'm like, hey, hi, I hope you guys are, I try to tell them like, come have fun and then take your butt home, come have fun, enjoy and stuff, and just go home, because, sometimes it messes things up for everyone, and that it's hard to call again and find another venue, or, things like that. And then just the time, my son has football, he's in football. And then my other son, he's a senior this year, my youngest. And so I'm always thinking, dude, I need to just, it's time consuming,
Wow.
because be on the phone, like trying to post this or trying to talk to this manager or trying to, and so it's time consuming. So I struggle with that. I'm just trying to plan out a better way to navigate through it without, taking too much time from my family and stuff, because, family comes first, of course,
Right.
and taking care of family. So just trying to balance that out. Those are basically my struggles right now with this whole promoting thing.
Made some good points.
So,
Money Mouth, you there?
yeah,
Yeah,
we hear.
yes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you guys hear me? Can you see me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see it.
So another one of our struggles is so what people don't understand, it takes a lot of work, to like put a show together,
Mhm.
right? And it's people think it's just us posting flyers trying to put, but it's more to that, especially being like, different if you have like a husband or whatever, everybody.
Yeah.
For example, me as a single mom, like that's a lot of work for me. I work full time. I work jobs. Also, like I gotta make money to like gamble on these shows, right?
Right.
So
Wow.
on top of that, it's how to make everything positive for your community to come together.
Yes.
And yet, like there's always that one person that comes and messes everything up, so like I just wish that our community can do better,
Yeah.
like all the instead of coming to our event with a negative with negative
Right.
with like positive energy, it's always about the energy, always.
Right.
So like when people, that's what people don't understand. When it gets to events like this, especially poly events, time has changed, time has changed. So like when it gets to poly events, it's the energy that you bring out.
Yeah.
And everyone's coming out to have a good time.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's like, there's like people look at it as like, oh, like, oh, it's like who and who, but then at the end of the day, like you don't know what we go through behind the scene.
Right.
So come here, bring this drama to our shows, and it's bad. Not only our brand, like, oh, there was there was a shooting at Boss Up's,
right.
Shooting over here. But like on top of that, like people's always gonna look at us and target us like, oh, don't go to their shows because there's always shootings. No, it's not us, it's the people, right?
Right. Yes.
So like
I
agree.
The struggles. We're trying to bring, like people complain like, oh, we're trying to bring all the shows, like even the smaller cities, like Reno, for example. LALO AKAU took that to Reno. And the reason why a lot of times we don't, multiple, like throughout the years, I've been watching Reno. And the reason why our tours never make it to Reno, because a couple tours made it there already and it's not really a great turnout,
Yeah.
But, like, again, time has changed. We don't, and I know that's one thing I loved about LALO AKAU's concert this past weekend is I noticed that people was driving there, people from SAC. I see people from LA flying in, which is dope. So like, that's why Reno's never on the map, because when it gets to our tour, but like, I hope that things change where we can take our shows to these smaller cities.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that was pretty dope. So like with Reno, like with that city, because it's so small and we know like, you know, the Tongan people, well, I don't know Samoans, but like our little Tongan community that's there, like for example, like only JC Lodge, like somebody like that would be able to draw all of them in. Right. You can't just get up and take like any poly artist there. Right. Because I've seen it flop. I've seen it flop, you know, flop with so many tours. That's why Reno's never in it. And I, you know, I apologize to a lot of the Reno people because they're always asking like, hey, Noah, when are you gonna bring a stop over here? And I've looked into Reno for like, you know, the last, you know, since the pandemic and everything, like when we were talking about tours and stuff. And the venues there is easy to get. The problem is it's just the money, like gambling. That's what people don't understand. If we put in this much money, it's not us making money. It's us trying to make our money back, especially coming from out of state, you know? Yeah. If we make our money back, then that's a win. It's a win.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I agree.
I have to say that, sis. You did great. You did a great job in Reno.
Thank you. It was fun, man. I'm telling you guys, they were all like so happy to finally come out. And, you know, maybe, you know, your next tour or, you know, put them on a tour again. Cause I feel like, yeah, it'll be good this time. Nice. Look at me. But yeah.
I agree with the girls. You know, I agree that financially, that's one of the biggest struggles is it gonna make sense? Are we gonna make at least our money back? It's not about, it is about making money, but the first step is, are we gonna make our money back? You know, that's one of the major struggles. And, you know, all of us sit back and we look and we see, is our polys active in this area? Are our polys active in this area? Did this make sense over there? What changed from that year to this year? And I feel like after the pandemic, LALO AKAU did, she stuck her neck out in Reno for all of us. And for us to see that, it's like, okay, maybe Reno's starting to wake up because, mind you, this is a new generation.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, this new generation, and our target is between 25. Right. Our target is between 25 and 35, which is the working class.
Yeah.
You know, and so I feel like the new generation now, they're ready to party. They're ready to go out. Which that's the first struggle is it going to make sense?
Yeah.
Second struggle is, how are we all going to get there? Okay.
How we all going to eat?
To me is the, like, man, you know, when sometimes like when we work with different management and it's like the contract says one thing and all of a sudden the contract, like the manager is going in 10 different directions. And it's like, hey, let's bring it back to the contract. Like, you guys didn't say that Tina Turner doesn't fly on Spirit. Yeah. You know what I mean? You guys didn't say that Beyonce doesn't fly on Frontier. You know what I mean? Like, those kind of little things can drag you a good $2,000, $3,000, $4,000.
Wow.
And where does that money come from? Us, because who signed the contract? Us, you know? Another thing is like, just, you never know who you're working with unless you work with them prior, right? And so I feel like us working together as a team, us women, is like, hey man, and this is what artists don't understand. Once you work with one of us, you worked with all of us.
Right.
So if you worked with Boss Up and Boss Up said, sis, man, these guys, Binukava all night and sang all night in the lobby, they got everybody in trouble. When Shone, Vaitangi come and say all that, trying to be on the show. I don't know who Shone Vaitangi is. I'm just using it as an example. And I'm going to say, hey, man, I heard the last time when you was out there and, over there in Timbuktu, y'all was fight cover all night, man. Y'all got everybody kicked out of the hotel. And that's what I'm not trying to, everything is on us.
That's a half.
Like, we even use our own discounts, like our nieces and nephews and cousins, right?
For discount.
and then you got Timmy over here doing all kinds of acrobats and stuff. It's a negative, man. It's all bad. So you think that if you work with one of these ladies and you think that train gonna come this way, it ain't.
Right.
It ain't, because you messed up, and you messed up on some real good, honest money.
Yeah.
The biggest struggle to me so far is what just happened in Washington. I do want to shed light on that because it had to do with nothing to do with the promotion. It had nothing to do with the show or the lineup. There was a lot of people who were saying, oh, it was a mixed crowd. You can't put Bloods and Crips on us. If you guys would have seen when our headliner went on there, Nitty Bowl, and you seen red rags and blue rags in the air, both singing like they just don't care, you can't tell me that we can't put these kind of, because at the end of the day, there's colors. At the end of the day, there's only one color, and it's Pacific. We're Pacific people, right? Mm-hmm. So everybody put their rags and stuff to the side, and they came together and joined as one. It was because of a drunk person who couldn't control their drink. Drunk, konafali. Yeah. And that's my thing is, when you come to these shows, everybody want to have a good time. I understand it. Brothers and sisters, we all want to come together and have a good time. Control yourself, Ali Mae. Yeah. Control yourself.
Yes.
Because I need to make sure you can speak with your chest like that when everything goes down.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's true.
And I ain't never been more scared for a whole lot of people in my whole life than when we was locked in that venue. Damn. Gunshots in the back. Like gunshots in the back. Oh, you hear pa, 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 pa. And I mean, you know, you can hear them going back and forth. Everybody was on the ground, you know, and then, you know, somebody had the great idea of everybody run out the front door. And I said, no, everybody stay on the ground. So everybody's scared. They ran out the front door. You know what happened when they ran out the front door? The gunshots came up on both sides of the venue. Ba, 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 ba. What happened? Everybody who ran out the front door ran back in.
Hi.
Look, it's just like an earthquake drill, ladies and gentlemen. When we go back to, you know, elementary, earthquake drill is get down and stay down. Get under something that can protect you. We were protected inside. To me, that was the biggest struggle because I couldn't control. Right. It was out of my control. Majority of the time, I am in control. I control security. I control the show. I control the artist. I control. It's in my control.
Right.
When guns start blazing, it's out of my control, and it all because of one person was too drunk to control themselves, and it ended in a fatality. It did. One person passed away, and there's still people who are still clinging on to life, and I pray for those people. I pray for those families. I really do, but I what more can we do? You know what I mean?
Right.
But try to create a safe environment. Now, when those kind of environments come and clash with ours, they do come with respect. But there's always somebody with an agenda.
Yeah.
And if you're that somebody with an agenda, stay home.
Right.
Stay home.
And just adding the money mouth, like, you know, you can't think that you're coming to a show and it's going to be all gravy, regardless of what promoter's throwing it or what city.
Right.
With alcohol involved, there's bound to be some crazy.
And it doesn't matter what line it is. Like, it could be regular or not. Like that shooting that happened on Saturday, it was that person, and then there was like drunk people around that was scared for their life that they started shooting back, not knowing that it was like, you know, it was causing a big old shootout.
Oh
my gosh. I wanted to point out, like with me, like I grew up in the church, you know, my dad was a pastor, and then my husband's really, you know, he's a very active member of the Seventh-day Adventist. I go to church when I can, you know, and stuff. But, you know, I've had comments from my aunts or from the, you know, fellow church community, like, oh, you know, you go and do bars now for our kids to go to the bars, you know. Or they just give me that crazy look. But in all honesty, I never looked at it like, or like I'm like a bar, like, you know, whatever. I looked at it as show, you know, it just has a part. But then, you know, be open-minded about it. And that was really discouraging too. When, you know, a lot of the mothers were like, you know, you're doing these shows and people are getting hurt and people are fighting and it's all over social media. You need to stop. Well, no, they need to stay home, you know.
Right.
If they can't handle and can't drink responsibly, they need to stay home. Don't come to my show.
Because all the other shows are successful, right? And then there's that, you know, once there's that one show, and like it's just like I said, it's all about energy. Like just because there was a fight at this show, don't mean you're gonna show up to the next show with a fight. If you feel like you're gonna come and there's a fight, stay your ass home.
Exactly.
Yes, right? You feeling like Fine Stay.
So
Look, before the promoters,
when people
you
say that, Solo, what is your response to them? When people say that, what is your response to them?
When they, like I like when someone, older lady said it to me, and she said it in a very respectful, kind of funny way, like, our church kids are coming to your shows. Like, be careful, like that's not good, like my response was like, they don't have to. We don't put a gun in their heads to come to the shows. They know it's bad. They know they're not allowed to come. It's against what they believe in. Don't come, because I'm not going to go home. Yes. That's not my, don't come. And after that, it was like, what? Agree. No, man, I told my husband, I was like, man, I feel so uncomfortable, going around certain people. He's like, no, like, this is how we feed our kids. Like, this is how we, how we make money. Like,
at the end of the day, majority of the shows that we host are 18 plus or 21 plus.
Yeah.
So as individuals, putting aside, religion, putting aside your ethnic group, putting aside, you're an adult. And you are in charge of, and you are responsible for your actions.
Yeah.
If you're going to come to a show intending to be hurt or intending to hurt others, it might happen to you before you can do it to somebody else. In the case that we were in Washington, nobody intended to come over there to get, ain't nobody going to pay no money to go and get shot. We know that. That's facts. But, we got to put responsibility back on the public. And that's why it's a huge awareness for it right now for us. If you with all that life, like I was talking with my husband, we laughed about it because I said, real thugs and real gangsters are not online. They are not on social networks. Right. They do not want you to know who they are. Right. Casper doesn't even want you to know who Casper is. Mm-hmm. If you really want to be down with all that, like, it's messy. We don't want that to intertwine with what we got running, because there's a lot of lives on the line. There's a lot of money on the line. And it ain't nobody else's but ours.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We when we moved here about a year ago, we started having kickbacks here. And that's the one thing I tell everybody. I was like, hey, you're here to have a good time. You do what you want to do. There's no judgment. We understand that life is crazy. Sometimes you need to unwind, right? And I was like, the one thing I asked, don't bring your drama here, because you bring your drama here, you're out. Like, you know what I mean? Only. So I can imagine with you guys investing all this money into shows, like, how these people can ruin it, so it's kind of good to get that awareness out there.
Yeah.
Definitely. We ain't in it for all that. That's
right.
That's for real.
One thing we all have in common is we're doing it for the community. What are some words of advice you guys have for Polynesian people when it comes to unity within the community?
Come with your whole heart.
Yes.
Come with your whole heart. When we do our show, when we gamble money on shows, we come with our whole heart, not just to make money, but that's what we expect. Like, like, we're here to have a good time. That's hard work money right there,
Yeah.
So, like, come with your heart, because it's like, I get it. Like, everybody's always gonna look at our situation in a negative way, but like, if you know us as, like, that's why it's good that we're talking about it, because they're like, okay, they're trying to, or maybe everybody will look at it differently, hopefully,
Yeah.
Especially LALO AKAU. All we can do right now is plant the seed. Like especially LALO AKAU, because LALO AKAU is out in Southern Cali, and like, I never, like, what happened this past weekend in Washington, I never expected that to ever happen out here.
Right.
Things happen, it can happen anywhere, but out here, like, that was way, like, extreme.
Yeah,
because what I did like is, oh, go ahead.
I feel like it's the random people, because like for our venue, like, so my partner Rusology, he's from Riverside. He's a Riverside native. I'm a Long Beach native. My husband is a Norwalk native, and we have family from Inglewood, Long Beach, Orange County, up going to the IE, and then with our partners, the IE. So when everybody comes to our shows, they know, okay, we can't mess up because that's Bo and Scala, because we're like, we're a little older than a lot of the the concert goers now. So and we already told our people, you come to our show, but don't come play. Like, come and enjoy yourself. Don't mess our stuff up. So it's kind of has to do with who you know too, and who knows you, or just the way you interact with them and talk to them, and make them understand that this is for you guys. You guys come and and have a good time. Don't come and start trouble or gangbang or start fights and stuff, because it's not going to work out. You're going to mess it up for yourselves.
Why do you wait to, like, if you're feeling this way, why do you guys wait to do at our events?
Right.
Yeah, why don't you guys have fun over there while we're not there?
On site, green light.
Yeah.
I'm putting it right now. Technology has upgraded. Why do you guys wait to our events? If you guys want to do all that negativity, write each other and go to each other's houses or meet at a park.
Yeah.
Like, and only that, like, they're involving innocent people in this,
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, not to make it lighthearted, but what I did like about is when they did, like, report, like, the news station and everything, they didn't mention, like, Money Mouth. They didn't mention who was throwing the event. So that was a good thing, positive thing, because, there's no name shaming on her. And that was the only thing I did like about it when they reported the news and everything. They just mentioned the location. And so that was kind of nice.
Yeah, definitely, because we had a lot of stuff that show, you know what I mean? Like, all of our licenses, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I could, to be honest, we could have lost it if our name was mentioned in the public that it was one of our events.
Well, both projects, Face to Face and Money Mouth, would have been no more had it gone past what it did in Washington. There's every single show, everything is riding on everything, and it's what we invest all of our money in. You know what I mean? It's we believe in. So if you believe in the same thing that we do, and you want to come see whoever you want to, then do it. It's also to the sense of how people are shaming or venues that we host these events. What's so funny is I tell everybody all the time, they always, when they a flyer and they say, hey, bring it over here to, Timbuktu. I'm like, I'll come to Timbuktu, but you got to find me a venue. And the reason why I throw it back on them is because, like, so many people are upset about us hosting events in certain different venues when they don't even know the beginning of it. And they're just basically people who are, and that to me is a part of the struggle. Are you gonna entertain people who are upset online, or the people who just bought a ticket to that venue that they don't want to come to? Hey sis, then stay home. You along with the other guy with the gun, you guys.
Yes, definitely.
Or go shoot each other somewhere else. Why don't come bring it to my area? Right.
Yeah, we don't need that. We on the unity and the community movement.
Yeah, that's definitely a struggle, is having to try to cater. Do we have to have a 5-star venue to host these shows? No, show has a budget. If my budget for this show is $10 and I find a venue I'm gonna book the venue for $2 because I got $8 more that I can do what I need to do for my show. I have a $10 budget, but sis over here in Timbuktu want me to throw it in the $20 venue. Sis, you gonna throw me that extra $10 so I can get that $20 venue, or you just gonna chit chat and say what you want to say because you heard about something?
Nice. Because
that's another struggle. That's a struggle trying to. You can't please everybody.
Cool. There's always going to be someone saying something or a group of people saying something, and you just have to believe in what you do and have faith in what you do and keep it consistent and keep going.
Totally agree with you, Corinne.
Yeah, on a positive note.
Yes. So this is just an introduction to all these lovely ladies. How can we find you? If we're on social media now, is everywhere, And so if you guys can quickly just go over, how do we find you, how to follow you, how to look up your concert events?
Yes.
My main social media that I use with Money Mouth is my Instagram, Money Mouth Eat 19. That's where I post everything to do with anything to do with Money Mouth and all the partners that we partner with. I can go off from, we have other, but everything is basically on Instagram. Instagram is where you'll find it.
You got it.
Yeah, same. Everything that we have got going in the past and going on to the future will be on the LALO AKAU page. It's LALO_AKAU. I post flyers on there. Anything we're gonna do in the future, I'm gonna post it on there. I also have a Facebook page too. It's the LALO AKAU Our Safe Haven, but it hasn't really been active. So I just use my Instagram page. So you'll find me and whatever we got going on LALO AKAU on Instagram.
Thank you.
For me, you can find me on Instagram for under Boss Mama 2018, and then on Snapchat, Boss Up ENT.
Howdy at Boss Mama.
My Instagram personal page is Corinne Panisi, just spelled like you see here, spelled. I have a resource music page that it's on Facebook and Instagram, Corinne Panisi, but I also have a resource music page on IG and Facebook, and then Project Face to Face has its own separate IG page, just Project Face to Face. It also has a link on Facebook and IG to the actual website. And so I post any of our community events. Like we do more than toy giveaways. We do backpack giveaways, we feed the homeless and all that. So on our website, you'll find the link either through our Facebook page or our IG. There's a link to the website. And Panisi Publishing Company, same thing. But I guess it'd be easier, since I have all these different pages and companies and everything, to just look up Corinne Panisi, spelled like that right here. And then from there, you could find all the links to my other pages and everything else I do.
Nice.
Awesome. Thank you.
We have a latecomer, Cello.
Aloha. Sorry, everybody.
No, you're good. Introduce yourself.
Hello.
Tell us how to find you and tell us what you do real quick.
Okay, my name is Salu. I'm representing Malia Lole and a lot of other, people that partner with us and our umbrella under our nonprofit. And what was the other question? I'm so sorry.
How do we find you guys?
Oh, we're on Facebook. We have an Instagram, just under Malia Lole Dance. And we also have a separate page, Malia Lole Entertainment. If you guys want to look us up on Facebook.
You got it.
Nice. Sorry, and so we're at TALAVOU Creations. We do merch again. You can find us all over social media. Me and my husband, we like to just post. We don't care. We post. We blow up your feeds. And it. Like I said, all the stuff that you guys have been saying is so true, regardless of what industry you're in. You deal with hatred, you deal with violence, you deal with you name it, And the one thing that we've noticed is, if you didn't take that step, you would have never known, right? So it is our hope that hopefully you guys stay encouraged in whatever field you guys are doing, and you guys keep pursuing it regardless of the circumstances or what negativity comes your way. We have a list of very talented women, which are you, and it's up to us, basically our generation, to keep that going, right? We wanted to provide this platform, which is Degreez, for people like us to come out and voice our opinions, voice our thoughts, and also try to change the way some of us Polynesians think about business, and about how to run things, like we can't be in the era where we stop ourselves from trying to achieve greatness. So
That's right.
hopefully in the future, this is my invitation to all of you guys. If you guys are ever in Arizona or you ever bring a show to Arizona, please, TALAVOU Creations is always open to you. Although we don't have performances or do like big old concerts or anything, but we have a lot of kickback events here, and we draw a lot of our family. Just because it's your away from home time, your me time,
And it's safe.
I have brothers outside who are our security, so they always keep, when I tell them they gotta go, but it's a good way to get away from the noise that you deal with in everyday life. So thank you so much for your guys' time. Thank you to VMI.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you guys so much.
I can't wait to share this with everybody, and hopefully you guys keep going, and then we can do this again sometime in the future and talk about ongoing stuff that you guys got going, and promote you guys as well.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Hey.
Arizona, we gonna be there. We gonna be in your city, Arizona.
Where it don't get hotter than this.
We'll bring the crowd. We'll bring
the heat.
Nitty and Ado gonna be in your city.
Yes, we'll see you.
Thank you guys again.
Have a good day.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you for
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for having us.
We appreciate you guys.